mice and other woodland creatures as I cleaned away really makes me think. My father dies, so I'm supposed to just sit here and wait for my Prince Charming while merrily cleaning away? It's no wonder I started talking to mice. On that note, if another mouse calls me Cinderella, I just might lose it. And that stupid Prince Charming just let me for the one night I just so happened to be blessed with a fairy godmother who could completely change my appearance. Was he really in love, or just overwhelmed by the amount of sparkles on my dress, blonde hair in my head, and glass on my feet? We barely spoke, and yet somehow that was enough to set him on some huge royal foot fetish campaign to find me.
All right, calm down, Cindy. We have a couple of new faces here waiting to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I'm from Agrabah. Well, not the city, just the walls. My dad won't let me leave, and I'm a Disney princess.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ariel, originally an Atlantean, but can't really go back now, can I? And I'm a Disney princess.
Hi, Ariel.
Hi, my name is Philip. Everyone confuses me with Prince Charming, though. I used to correct them, but it's hopeless, so now it's go by Charm.
Seriously?
Sorry, force of habit. I'm a Disney prince.
Hi, Charm. Great, those were lovely introductions. So last week we were talking about unrealistic waistlines and beauty standards. This week, let's pick up the conversation by talking about maintaining perfect hair.
Okay, so I lived in an ocean for half a movie, right? I don't understand how my hair looked dry the entire time. I just don't get it. Now everybody expects it to look great every day.
People think I wake up like this. Please, it takes hours. My dad, the king of happily ever after, he is obsessed with keeping up appearances. I literally get woken up at 5 a.m. every day, so this idiot from the village can come and make me up.
If only we were beasts. You know that montage where the beast is getting ready and he goes for the natural look? That took 30 minutes max.
How long did it take you to get ready for that same date, Val?
Half a day.
But hey, on the bright side, I finally figured out how to use a comb for my hair and not a dingle hopper. A fork.
Oh.
I mean a fork. You know, it turns out those things are pretty useful for eating. Not that they let me do that on camera.
Yeah, I just feel like no matter what we do, they always want us to be perfect. It's quite frustrating.
What do the rest of you think?
Totally. I mean, people think the only reason I met Prince Charming was because of my dress and appearance. Hello. I did the housework for 6 people for months without complaining. And I had to get a makeover to catch Charming's eye? I wish my fairy godmother had given me, I don't know, books or some tools to fix all the cracks in my walls with. I could have done so much more with those.
You know, you princesses aren't the only ones pressured to look a certain way. You know how often I'm pushed to try these like Gaston workout plans? I'd like to look like a human being, not a tree trunk, thank you very much.
I understand. In the movie, Disney had me using my body to pretend I was under Jafar's spell. I mean, I saved the day, but at what cost? My body isn't a piece of meat, and I don't want little girls to watch Aladdin and to think that that's okay.
I'm right there with you, Jazz. I mean, I basically told girls if they sneak out at night with just the right outfit on, they will immediately find their Prince Charming. And let me tell you, he's not all that charming day in and day out.
That brings us to a great point. How does it feel to be role models?
Well, I did it one day.
True? What do you wish you could tell a boy or girl who looks up to you? Bippity boppity boo.
No matter how many sparkly dresses you have, your brain is the thing that should shine the most.
And I would tell them that no matter what the world tells you, you define your own value. Make decisions that are best for you as an individual.
And you shouldn't change yourself to fit into some fantasy society. The world should change for you.
And I would say, you don't have to save anyone. Just try to make the world a better place. And don't be afraid to be emotional while you're doing so.
And to remember that you are complete on your own, but don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Now get out there and make your own happily ever after.
Bippity boppity boo.
Okay, our turn to switch my dad. I go to William Smith. Yes, the first women's rights convention was held in Seneca Falls.
She shoots and she scores! Okay, everybody, let's get ready for the upcoming history test this Friday. First question. What was a suffragette? Justin.
A woman.
And what were they suffering from?
Man.
Ironic. I guess you could say that. They fought for equality. And when did they get that?
1920.
They earned the right to vote in 1920. Can anyone name a significant act from the 1920s?
Woman got equality.
They earned the right to vote, yes. Can anyone name a famous suffragette?
Susan B. Anthony.
Good.
What does she look like?
There's a picture in your textbook. She looks like you and me.
Do you mean like you? Because we don't really look the same.
Why does that matter? We just learned woman got equality in 1920.
It matters because none of them look like me,
Sure they do. We're all women.
but they're all white.
Okay, everybody take out your books for quiet reading time. The first person to talk gets detention. That was the first one. This is what I get for teaching in the ghetto. I just had to join Teach for America.
Voodoo? Why can't she just answer my question?
Voodoo? Why does Ashley keep bothering Miss F? Girls are so annoying.
Does she really think we look the same?
I just want to ace this test so we can get back to real history.
I wish Miss F would just admit that nobody cares about black women.
I wish I was prepared.
Voodoo.
Okay, everybody, let's see what you've learned. Ashley, what can you tell me about Susan B. Anthony? Ashley? Who can name a significant act in the 1920s? Justin?
Woman got equality.
Not really, no. That's an oversimplified feel-good narrative. In fact, only straight, white, married, middle-class women were able to vote.
Why?
It's complicated. Short answer, this country was built on racism and benefits from oppressing people of color so that white people, specifically white men, can flourish.
Huh?
Without the ability to vote, women were unable to convince officials to serve in their best interests. And as the experiences of African Americans across the U.S. demonstrated, the legal right to vote by no means guaranteed a practical ability to do so. Municipalities routinely instituted unfair poll taxes and literacy tests that were administered only to black voters as a means of keeping them from voting.
And what's wrong with that? You can't know who you're voting for if you can't read.
Okay, everybody take out a piece of paper. Now, write the word vote, upside down, but in the correct order.
What?
Exactly! That's one of 28 questions on a Louisiana State literacy test.
Okay, but that was hundreds of years ago.
Actually, this test was administered only about 50 years ago. And just 2 years ago, the Supreme Court struck down parts of the Voting Rights Act that made this sort of voter discrimination illegal. Today's voter ID laws are basically new forms of poll taxes which most dramatically disenfranchise poor people of color.
Welcome to the new Jim Crow.
Sadly, yes. So, to recap, women are still not equal to men, but white women are far more privileged and have far more voice than women of color do. Here, let's look at Sojourner Truth's speech, Ain't I a Woman?
I wish I would.
Ashley, we're in class, wake up.
No, you guys need to wake up. I'm not reading any more whitewashed history.
Get to the principal's office immediately.
Yo,
thinks it's more detrimental to my education to wear leggings to class than to actually go. Students, name.
Molly.
Rule I broke.
Calling Andrew a jerk.
I chose.
Wearing a Meninism t-shirt? I chose to break this rule because Meninism is a stupid excuse for insecure white men who are scared of feminism. I shouldn't be the one in trouble. He's the one that...
Students, name.
Shannon.
Rule I broke.
Saying the word menstruation in a presentation on the female anatomy.
I chose to break this rule
Because I needed to give a presentation on the female anatomy and I didn't feel like pretending that periods don't exist.
Students, name.
Andrew.
Rule I broke. Whistling at me as I walked down the hall.
Calling me a feminazi. Telling me to go to the kitchen and make him a sandwich.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Andrew. We seemed to have called you down by mistake. There are no transgressions here that we can see.
A girl's list of don'ts.
Don't say it too late.
Don't wear leggings.
Don't wear a low-cut top.
Don't wear skinny jeans.
Don't wear dress.
Don't wear a skirt.
Don't wear heels.
Don't put your drink down.
Don't get drunk.
Don't dance near him.
Don't look at him.
Don't talk to him.
Don't lead them on.
Don't be so bossy.
Don't be a tease.
Don't be so easy.
Don't be such a prude.
Don't fight.
Don't give in.
Don't scream.
Don't tell anyone. Mopin.
1848, I think.
We often reduce the weight of the patriarchy to one. One person, one instance, an anomaly of oppression. We say, he's just this one. But he is bigger than that. He is the hours.
She would spend looking in the mirror, trying to make her hair fall just right.
He is the nights.
She skipped doing her homework to stare at her phone and paint her nails and wonder if she should call.
He's who told her she was bad at math and science.
And he is the taste on her tongue. Every time she apologizes for the questions she
He
asks.
said she was built of emotion and chaotic irrationality, that she would never be capable of reason, and because of that, her thoughts held no value.
He said
They were smart or pretty, but never both.
And he hasn't.
Left me alone either.
He is who promised.
She could be whatever she wanted, and he would hold the door open for her on the way there, as long as it wasn't what he wanted first.
He is who wrapped.
Her self-worth into the parts of her body and not her ideas.
For he has asserted himself
As the only mechanism through which she may exist.
because without he,
she is just the delicate ladylike curves of an S.
he has and continues to.
Destroy her confidence in her own power, lessen her self-respect, and make her
Willing to lead a dependent and abject life. I don't know the answer.
I'm gonna sit this one out, Coach.
Thank you all for being here tonight. We'd like to close with the Declaration of Sentiments, a celebration of how far we've come.
Introducing the illustrious Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott.
Thank you. To begin, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of the women under this government, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to demand the equal station to which they are entitled. He has created a false public sentiment by giving the world a different code of morals for men and women, by which moral delinquencies which exclude women from society are not only tolerated, but deemed of little account in man.
He has withheld from her rights given to the most ignorant and degraded men, both natives and foreigners.
In the covenant of marriage, she is compelled to promise obedience to her husband, he becoming by all intents and purposes her master, the law giving him the power to deprive her of her liberty and to administer chastisement.
He has compelled her to submit to a law in the formation of which she has no voice.
He has taken from her all right and property, even to the wages she earns.
He taxes her to support a government which only recognizes her when her property can be made profitable to it.
He has monopolized nearly all profitable employments, and from those she is permitted to follow, she receives but a scanty remuneration.
And he also closes against her all avenues to wealth and distinction. Now, in view of this entire disenfranchisement of one half the people of this country, and because women no longer feel themselves aggrieved, oppressed, and fraudulently deprived of their most sacred rights, we now
insist that we now have admission to all the rights and privileges which belong to us as citizens of these United States.
Wait. Something is not right about this.
Kate, this is a celebration of the Declaration of Sentiments and the bravery of our foremothers. These people are ready to go home. Let's leave it on a high note.
No, Andrew, I'm with Kate on this one. I'm not so sure things are better. Shannon, can you repeat the first one again?
He has created a false public sentiment by giving the world a different code of morals for men and women, by which moral delinquencies which exclude women from society are not only tolerated but deemed of little account in man.
I read in one survey that 99% of women have experienced street harassment.
Yeah, that second one didn't sit quite right with me. I mean, it still sadly feels real, and Obama being drawn as an ape?
You mean he has withheld from her rights given to the most ignorant and degraded men, both natives and foreigners?
Yeah, that's just racist.
Well, surely we can agree that this is no longer a problem. In the covenant of marriage, she is compelled to promise obedience to her husband, he becoming by all intents and purposes her
Raping
master.
your own wife wasn't considered illegal in Iowa until 2012.
Well, what about the rest of them? He has compelled her to submit to a law in formation of which she has no voice.
Yeah, now that you mention it, 19% of Congress hardly counts as a voice.
He has taxed her to support a government which only recognizes her when her property can be made profitable to it.
He has taken from her all right and property, even to the wages she earns. He has monopolized nearly all the profitable employments, and from those she is permitted to follow, she receives but a scanty remuneration.
Surely we can all agree the wage gap is alive and real.
Things may be better, but they aren't fine at all.
I'm tired of being silent.
Expected to be pacified by symbols of equality from 157 years ago.
Because these sentiments aren't relics of some great distant past.
They're yesterday.
And now. But they don't have to be tomorrow. Firmly relying on the idea that what is right and what is true is what is equal, we do this day affix not our signatures but our voices behind this Declaration of Sentiments and insist that women must have immediate